Welcome to the third episode already of the Benjamin Theodore podcast. My name is Benjamin Theodore, or Ben. You can call me Ben if you prefer. We're going to talk about songwriting, about making music. I'm going to show you how I created my first rock single ever called Surrender. We'll dive into my Logic Pro session. We'll talk a little bit about creating guitar sounds, about where this track came from, spiritually, emotionally, whatever. I'm not 100% sure still, but I'll try to find out and explain it to you. And we'll have a lot of fun talking about music and creating music. Thank you so much for watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you digest podcasts. I hope you are having a great day and that this podcast will make it just a little better. Before we dive in, this podcast is brought to you by my Patreon page, which allows me, if you would consider supporting me, to keep creating music, to keep creating this podcast. I really view making music and view making these songs as my life's mission. I've tried 1,001 different things already in my 33 years on this planet, and I always come back to making music and to writing songs, and it's my mission to make the world a little better by sharing these songs, sharing this music, hopefully a lot better. Hopefully I can impact a lot of people, but I need your help. I need your support. So on my Patreon page, you can become one of my patrons and you can support me with an amount of your choosing. If you can't or you don't want to, that's okay too. Thank you so much for just listening to this or watching this podcast. But if you would like to become my patron, there are some cool things that you get. You get access to The Vault, which contains unreleased tracks and demos, which nobody's ever heard before. You get to hear new music before it comes out. You get access to a cool community, and I share some secret stuff with you. And if you choose one of the upper tiers, then there's even an option that I can write a custom song for you. So go check it out. The link is down below in the show notes or in the description. And that being said, let's dive into this episode. Okay, so the song is called Surrender. And without further ado, let's just play it and listen to it. Close your eyes, unless you are driving, of course. Then keep them open by all means. So this is Surrender.
Spinning, I keep running every day.
All right, so that's called Surrender. Oh man, I love this song so much. I've been creating a lot of rock music during the last 10, 13 years, I think. In 2010, I actually wrote a couple of rock tracks when I was listening to a lot of Foo Fighters and Queens of Stone Age and bands like that. And they influenced me a lot, especially the Foo Fighters. But I never got to release those tracks, or I just never released them, or I never finished them. I'm actually finishing them now, since I've released this track, Surrender, because some of you really liked this song, so I really appreciate that. But this song happened. How did it happen, you are wondering? Well, I bought this guitar, this PRS SE Silver Sky. It's a John Mayer signature guitar, because I moved to Portugal here, and my electric guitars there are in storage, so I didn't bring them. But I really felt the urge to create something, and now I know I needed to create this. And I was even talking to a friend of mine about why don't we start like a rock project and we create some rock music, because I have something in mind. But then I created this song, and we are still doing the rock project, by the way, which is a totally different story. But this is what I needed to get off my chest. And as a songwriter, sometimes you just don't know that is what you need to get off your chest, what that you need to tell that story. And that's the beauty about creating music, is that you just don't know what is going to happen. You have to let it happen. You have to make space for it to happen. And that's what I did. I sat down and I was just messing around on this guitar. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a sound here. Put it in the middle. And I was playing this riff. And immediately I thought, oh, wait a second, I have something here. So I loaded up this drum loop. I think it was just this one. It was just doom, 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 duh, something like that. So I added the tom real quick. And then I recorded that guitar part. And I wasn't like specifically writing a song up until that point. You know what I'm talking about? I was just messing around. So I wanted to make something that sounded like U2, just as some sort of a reference. I wasn't even thinking about writing a song for my own thing, for Benjamin Theodore specifically, but I was just making something for that rock project, I think. And then I came up with that chorus guitar. Let me see. I think it's this one. Which has this delay thing on it, this delay effect that's really sounding like The Edge. I was just basically trying to sound like The Edge, and before I knew it, the song started to take shape, started to present itself. And so I just expanded on it, added this part. And that's for the if you're interested, that's a dotted 8 delay note. So then you get this rhythmic bounce in the guitar sound. And I grew up listening to a lot of U2 stuff, especially in the 2000s era. So How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, but also All You Can Leave Behind, you know, Elevation. That really sounds like this song. This really resembles Elevation, but also Vertigo is a rock song like that. So this is heavily influenced by U2, and I was basically just trying to be U2. You know, the drum part is laced with stuff that Larry Mullen Jr. would play. This is just I just picture Larry Mullen Jr. playing the ta dun ta dun dun ta dun ta dun dun ta. That's really a typical Larry Mullen Jr. groove. The bass is very straightforward. It's a moog or a moog bass. How do you pronounce that? If you know, leave a, a comment down below. I always say moog, but some people I think say moog. This is the bass part. Of course, that's not an Adam Clayton type of bass part because he plays real basses, but you know, it's the part is inspired by Adam Clayton, and then of course the guitars, but also the way I sing this. If you listen closely, you know, during the bridge, for example, that's really something that Bono would sing in my imagination, at least. I can't keep looking away. I can't keep looking away. I can't keep looking away. Come on and open up the sky. Oh yeah, that really feels good. That stuff that I'm singing there, and I really wanted to challenge myself. I knew that I could sing like that. You know, that had the high voice. And the full voice, especially the full aspect of it. But I never really got to show this in my music. So I wanted to challenge myself, and I think I really did well. You know, and the outro vocal, that's really a Bono thing as well. Oh, I surrender. Oh, I surrender. Especially this. Bono can do that full chesty sounding voice as well, but he also does this breathy stuff. Hey. So I just basically did that. And what you hear, you know, lyrically, melodically, really happens in real time. I was writing in real time in Logic Pro. If you are watching, you can see this on the screen. You have this notepad here, which is amazing. Logic Pro nowadays is my main songwriting tool because I can work in real time. I can just write and record at the same time. And you know, I know other DAWs can do this as well, but this just really works fast for me. And what you hear is just I was writing it and then recording it, so it's really instantaneous, and there's not a lot of thinking going on at that moment. So in the previous episodes where I was talking about the song that I wrote in my dreams, I was talking about a higher consciousness, and this is what happened here as well. My family was downstairs in the living room, you know, just chilling, doing that thing, and I said, I need to write a song. I'm not here, okay? So thankfully, that was a possibility. My wife let me do that, and so I disappeared basically for a few hours, and I was in the zone. And when you're in the zone, I don't think you rationally are writing, but you are creating from a higher consciousness, and that's what happened here as well. So these melodies and these words, these sentences that I'm singing are just came to me, and I recorded it. That's the only way I can put it. And I didn't know what the song was about. You know, the verses, if you listen carefully, are more of like sort of they have a rebellious tone. They're about fighting and repression and standing up against that. But then the chorus, I sing, "Open up the sky." What are the lyrics? "Come and show what I remember. When you shine your light, I will lay me down, surrendered." And this is something that that they would sing in church when I was younger. I was a Christian when I was younger, like a really radical Christian, and I would sing these kinds of worship songs which had these kind of lyrics in them, and I think they are still great. You know, they embody so much spirituality and so much connection to, you know, what I now call the universe instead of God as a person. I view that as the universe, as the source, and that we can all tap into, and that we are connected to. That's at least how I see that personally. So I really still like to use lyrics that would typically be used in worship songs that they sing in church. Open up the sky, come and show what I remember, and that's really a deep sentence. Come and show what I remember. So why would someone or something would show me what I remember? Because I tend to forget. So I'll just leave you with that. Think about it. When you shine your light, you open up the sky, the light shines. I will lay me down surrendered. And funny enough, the song is called Surrender because I think that's catchier. It's a little bit shorter than Surrendered. I think that's hard to pronounce, but those are the lyrics. And so that's a really, spiritual chorus. In contrast to the verses, why do you keep lying and just looking away? I'm losing the illusion that you're fighting for me. And I'm really proud of that sentence. I'm losing the illusion. Oh man, I love that wordplay. And that is for me personally, about the powers that be that are supposed to represent us, are supposed to fight for us, and but in the meantime, as I'm saying there, people keep on dying in the name of your flag. Please just let it stop. That's a really heavy sentence. And, I'm not going to go into that too much here, but you get the picture. And so the verses, what I'm trying to say is the verses are really about, that encounter, that they are about fighting, about I can really think of the word, but fighting against things that are keeping you down, things that are repressing you. But then in the chorus, I'm singing about opening up and about surrendering. And I believe eventually, you can't keep on fighting. You have to surrender at some point and open yourself up to the endless possibilities of the universe, of life, and see it in a positive light. My album isn't called The Eternal Optimist for nothing. I'm eventually, even though I struggle with anxieties and with the heavy stuff in life, I think there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And if you surrender to that, if you surrender to the universe and to life and to, if you like to call it God or source or the creator or the universe or whatever, life's going to be much better if you get out of that fighting mode and you lay yourself down, But that's just me basically giving a sermon. Yeah. So, but that's all inside of these lyrics, and keep in mind, when I was writing this, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I need to write a song about this, and this. No, this just came out, and that's the beauty of writing music for me, is that it's sort of like a therapy. I'm not a very, outspoken person, even though I'm speaking here on this podcast right now, which I don't do often. I don't share that much personal stuff. Especially publicly, but it's all in the songs. That it's really therapy for me. That's I have songs that from years ago, which I never knew what they were about, but if I'm listening them now, then sometimes all of a sudden they click, and I know, oh, okay, that's what they were about. That's what that song was about, and I didn't know it in that moment, but it was a therapeutic thing for me to just get it off my chest and write about it. So that's what I love about music. So yeah, that's Surrender. Let's see, let's dive into the logic session here again. I don't know what you really would love to see, but let's just go over it quickly. There's a lot of distortion happening which adds character.
I have always known that there just gotta be more.
Love it. For the producers who are watching or listening, that's a saturation knob by Softtube. It's a free plugin. And, there's a lot of vocal stuff happening. For example,
open up the sky.
That's the chorus vocals. And then the second chorus, I add a harmony part.
Open up the sky. Come and show what I remember when you shine your light.
Oh yeah, what might be cool to show you is this delay guitar that I'm adding in the bridge. Oh yeah, now I remember what I wanted to talk about. I just went off track with that sermon of mine. So, So let's talk about chord structures real quick, which I wanted to share, because this bridge also is a funny thing. Similarly to the previous episodes where I talked about going back to California and how that changes keys. So let's go to this guitar part here real quick again. Yeah. So the chorus is D major, A major, F sharp minor, E major. So basic stuff. So it's in the key of A major. Also the main riff. Let's enable this. So that's all in F sharp minor or in F major, which is a parallel key thing. But in the bridge, I go to C major, G over B, and then to D, E major with over C sharp, and C major again, G over B, D. So I can't keep looking away. I can't keep looking away. G, I can't keep looking away. So that ends on D. Which connects it to the chorus again, which also starts in D. Open up the sky. Yeah, so that's interesting as well. And then the bridge, I always try to like offer a different perspective on the song from a songwriting point of view. So it's like a 180 on the whole track. And so lyrically, harmonically, rhythmically, it's important in a bridge, in my opinion. Okay, so that is something that I wanted to show you. Listen, enough talking. I hope you enjoy this track and that you go stream it on Spotify or wherever you listen to music. Let me know in the comments or in a review what you think about this track, about this podcast. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, follow wherever you check out this podcast. And if you like what I do, if you like my music, I would like to invite you to support me on my Patreon page. I have like this Dutch equivalent of a Patreon page, which is called Pet Je Af, which translates to I take my hat off for you, sir. And you can support me there with an amount of your choosing. Feel free to do that if you don't want to. No hard feelings, that's okay too. But if you are able to support me and you would like to do that, feel free to support me there. that enables me, that helps me to spend more time and resources creating music like this, and which I think is what I'm here to do. I always come back to making music, to writing songs, no matter what I do. So go check that out. You get amazing unreleased demos and tracks from the vault, and other benefits as well. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for listening, watching this podcast, wherever you are in the world. I hope you have an amazing day. And this is number 3 of the first 3 episodes of the Benjamin Theodore podcast. So if you haven't already, you can check out the previous 2 episodes as well. After this, I'm going to, if you like it, if you like these podcasts, I'm going to release more episodes, and I'm planning to do a whole season. It's not going to be like a recurring weekly thing for a year or something like that, but I'm going to commit to one season at first, and if that works, then if you like it, if I like it, then I might do more. So definitely let me know what you think about this podcast. Give me any feedback if you have any helpful feedback, and have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.